Marc Molina, quarterback class of 2024 for Union City.
When did you first meet Lamar McKnight?
I met him my 8th grade year when I reached out because I knew he was a big trainer in the area. And I reached out because I wanted to get to work because I knew I was going to get coached by him. So it was my 8th grade year going into my freshman year.
And when you got to meet him, what was your first impression of him?
He was very down to earth, understanding. When I first met him, I was I wasn't very confident, and he was down to earth and like explained every step of the way. So that's why I worked with him better than I worked with anybody else.
So would you say that's what made him stand out compared to other coaches?
Yeah, I think as a coach, the biggest thing is there's a lot of people that could coach the most talented kids, the 5-star kids. I think what makes you a great coach is the coach that could take the unconfident kid and make him into a high caliber high school player, college player, and take out all their talent.
So speaking of confidence, you platooned your junior year as a quarterback, and then your senior year, for the most part, you played every snap, and you played every single snap of the state sectional title game where you guys came out as champions. How important was he in that development that led you to be that level of quarterback?
Honestly, I would say that I owe my whole senior year and that whole process to him because going into my junior year, I thought 100%. I was too confident. I would say overly confident because from as a freshman getting to that point of junior year, I think my confidence grew too much from a very unconfident kid to he helped me grow my confidence a little too much. And when I didn't get the full starting spot, it was very platooned on and off depending on the game. I was really in my own head, didn't play as good, didn't practice as good. Had a great beginning of the offseason. End of the offseason was really shaky. And after every game, like there were certain games, I think it was the first playoff game against Union. We blew them out 63-7, some crazy score. And I didn't play at all. I was happy because the team won, so I couldn't be upset. But in the back of my head, I was a little upset because I didn't get in at all, and we won by 57 points. And he came to me after the game and he said, look, like, you just got to get out of your own head because he knew me better than me. I wouldn't even tell him nothing. He would come up to me and just know what's going on. He was like that type of coach. He was a player's coach. And he got me that offseason. We were in the gym every day, 6 in the morning, from January all the way to the season. And so I think from there, my confidence was in the sky my junior year, then went to the floor and he built it all the way back up. And the mechanics, I couldn't think of a way I did it without him.
So is there anything in specific, if you had to narrow it down, as to what Lamar did to help you with your confidence?
He explained things so well, and we repped things out so many times that when it got to the practice or even games, it just was second nature. Like, I think my biggest problem when I was younger is I thought too much. I saw a big pass play was coming up, and I would think right before, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Like, I would overthink it, and that's what would make me mess up. So I think when you rep something out so much, and he was so particularly detailed, like I would throw a perfect ball in a drill, and he wouldn't care. And if I did something wrong with my feet or something looked the wrong way, didn't look at my first read correctly, the whole rep was wrong. It was very meticulous, which was a great thing.
So now let's move to off the field. What was your relationship like with him outside of football?
And what's so special about our bond was it was bigger than just coach to player, trainer to trainee. It was whenever I had an extra ticket to an NFL game, oh, coach, you want to come? Or what are you doing later? Let's get on and play Madden. Or anything, like anything that you would say, like he would FaceTime me when he went out and would just like goof around. So it was more like that was my big brother at the same time as hero, as a lot of things. There's so many things I could call him. So I think that's what made him so special. Like he went above and beyond, even in the way of just showing love. Like he never did nothing halfway. I'll give you an example. My first day of college, we had a meet and greet kind of in the big room where all the freshmen say, oh, what's your name, where your hometown from, and who's your hero? And I said him, and everyone looked at me kind of crazy. Everyone was saying like their dad, their mom, and I said a coach. And everyone Obviously, no one on my college team understood, and this is when he was still with us in August, and that's how our relationship was. My first week of college was very hard because it was a transition from being a wing T quarterback to completely spread. So it was a big transition, taking snaps under center to complete hand signals, very fast paced. And I called him. And this is after he's not even my coach, very busy coaching Hudson Catholic, has a whole team to worry about, training half of New Jersey's quarterbacks. And I call him, I said, Coach, I texted him, I said, Coach, call me when you get a chance. Under 5 seconds later, I get a call right away. And he stayed on the phone with me, I remember, for an hour. And I started crying to him on the phone. I'm like, yo, I don't know if I could do this. Like, it's real life hard. Like, it's not the same. College is serious. And he talked me through everything, and he got me through the off season. Like, I honestly couldn't have done that without him. And like, just that shows like that call. A regular coach, you don't have to do that. Like, he just would go the extra mile for everybody. That's why he was liked. He's one of those people that was liked by everybody.
You would say that he was always that accessible to you?
Yeah, I think whenever I needed something, a question at all, I would swipe up. I would swipe up on his Instagram stories with a question. He would answer right away. Any drill, I would send him TikToks of people doing drills. Oh, is this a good drill to do? Da, da, da. Very, very fast answers, always caring, explained everything.
Well, how did you react when you found out that he finally took that next step to become a head coach?
Actually, so it was my senior year after we won the championship, and I was on my way to college. And he calls me in the middle of the day, 11. I'm at lunchtime. I'll never forget. And I answer, and I'm like, oh, what's up, coach? And he goes, hey, I want to tell you something. Don't tell nobody because nobody else knows. But I wanted you to hear it from me first because I think you deserve to know before the public. He goes, I'm going to take the job at Hudson Catholic, and I had a couple opportunities to take different jobs before this year, but I had to write it out for you. And he said the other quarterback, which was Denzel, for us too, because he said that quarterback room, he had to see it through. Like, and that meant so much because that's like, it's what I thought. Like, to me, I was his project because he got me when I was an unconfident kid. Not a lot of people believed that I would ever start for probably one of the best public schools in New Jersey, a program that's so built, that producing college players, and he brought an unconfident kid all the way to win a state championship. So when he said that to me, it meant a lot. I was very happy for him. And then he took that Hudson Catholic team program that shut down to go win a couple big games, and they were completely on the rise. And he already turned, even though he's not here with us, they're still more on the rise in his honor, that they're doing way better than they were. They were not even a program before him. So I think even though he's not here, like, his presence is still there, and like, it shows how great he was as a coach, and like his energy.
What advice did he give you that you still think about to this day?
I think the little things matter the more you think, and your mindset. I think there's a video that's posted a lot on social media where he says that when you wake up at 6 a.m, if you tell yourself, I get to go to practice, your day and your practice is going to go better than, oh my God, it's 6 a.m, I have to go to practice. Once you start living your life like that, like, it's a blessing, which it is, because obviously not everybody gets to, and certain people's life get cut short. It just, you live happier and things go better for you in your life. You're more successful, which I think is something I try to live by every day.
What's the main thing that you want people to take away about Lamar McKnight's life?
I think the one main thing that you should take away from his life, which he tried to tell and show everybody, was from a kid that grew up in a very poor area, didn't come from a lot, got in some trouble when he was in high school, got kicked out of school, went from school, talented kid, most talented kid on the field, and look at where he became. Training half of New Jersey, probably impacted thousands of football players around, basketball players too. Anyone he was around, he impacted. And I think it's an inspiration showing that like you could be a small kid from a poor area and you could even have a couple bumps in the road and it's okay because as long as you stay on track, like you will succeed and like just don't get discouraged easily and don't think that you are you are your environment. I think was the biggest thing he tried to show people.
What's one word that you would use to describe Lamar McKnight? If you could only choose one.
This one's hard. I think if I had one word, I would say different.
Different.
Yeah, he was like a different type of person. I don't think I'll ever meet someone the same as him. Like just his personality it was so contagious. So I think different is a good word.
Awesome. So before we end, just if you want to say anything else as to, or maybe another story, like as to how much he really meant to you, and Maurice, who we spoke to earlier, and other quarterbacks who we're interviewing, just take people in on really how much, at least for you personally, how much he meant to you.
Yeah, I think it hit me very hard because I think that I know everyone, no matter you go to the NFL, no matter you go to college, eventually football is going to end. And to me, he was always a person that I thought was like a father figure for the rest of my life. So I think that's why it hit. And I think it was like that for a lot of people, Maurice, me, everybody that trained with him and played for him too. So I think, and he's just like, why it hit so different for so many different people is because when you show that much love, I think it was a shock. Like he would when I didn't have a car, my dad couldn't drive me to training an hour away. He would drive 30 minutes out the way to pick me up, to then drive an hour, to then train, didn't charge me a dime. I think it just shows the like caring. He got nothing out of doing that. And it was just, that made a big difference. And you could just tell when someone cares that much and it plays a big role and you want to go harder. When even on those morning 6 a.m.s where I didn't want to go train, I thought about it like, I'm struggling and getting up and this guy's waking up 30 minutes before me to come pick me up to then drive an hour away, just an extra above and beyond.
That was excellent. That's it?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Thanks, Marc.